All right, there's your list of the head coaching vacancies. One finally filled. 18 days after the end of the regular season, Denver Broncos have hired Nathaniel Hackett. 8 to go. Yesterday, it looked like the Jaguars were going to be the first ones to do it. Rick Stroud of the Tampa Bay Times has done some great reporting this season, and anything that he says, I am going to trust. And he reported yesterday that the Jaguars were finalizing a deal with Tampa Bay Buccaneers offensive coordinator Byron Leftwich to become the next coach of the Jaguars. And Stroud covers the Bucs. You don't need many steps in the connect the dots to realize he's probably plugged in with Leftwich or someone close to Leftwich as to what's going on. He's not going to report it if he doesn't believe it 100%. Then comes the Shefty bomb, the Shefty tweet that the Jaguars have not made any decisions. They haven't finalized anything. They're still talking to Matt Eberflus and Byron Leftwich. And Chris, to me, and I was even more over the top about this yesterday on PFTPM. I know how the game goes. I've been doing it 20 years now. Rick Stroud is accurate in what he's reporting.
100%.
The Jaguars are trying to leverage Byron Leftwich. So they activate Shefty, who will copy and paste the text from whoever from the Jaguars sent it to him and tweet it as a favor to the Jaguars. So they will let him know 5 minutes before they announce the hire of whoever they hire, who it is, so he can say to his bosses or future employers, I broke the news of the Jaguars head coaching hire. That's the game. That's his favor trading. That's how it works. If you haven't figured that out by now, you're not paying attention. And that's exactly, in my opinion, what's gone on here. So what it tells me is the Jaguars are screwing around with Byron Leftwich. The Jaguars are trying to pinch pennies. They're trying to nickel and dime. They're trying to get some contractual advantage, right? They're trying to do the best possible deal they can. At a certain point, you got to say, look, we have a very valuable asset in Trevor Lawrence. Our main objective is to get the best coach we can to get the most out of this guy. And if this is what the market requires,
100%.
That's what the market requires.
That's right.
Shad Khan's got a super yacht. I said this yesterday, and I'm not one of these tax the rich people, but I look at it this way. If you can afford a super yacht and the weekly cost of maintaining the super yacht, you can pay something close to market value for a head coach. And if you screw it up trying to mess around, I said a different term yesterday. I haven't gotten in trouble for it yet. I still may. I did say something I shouldn't have said yesterday.
I'm not
going to say it again. But if you mess around with Byron Leftwich and it falls apart, you get what you deserve, Shad Khan. So why? Why are you doing this? You know why? Because dysfunctional teams do dysfunctional things. And the mere fact that they weren't able to land this plane yesterday is evidence of dysfunction.
It looks like that to me. Again, I don't have a lot of inside knowledge here, but I will echo what you said to start off. Rick Stroud is as good as it comes covering football teams in the NFL. Know Rick very well from my years in Tampa. He's professional. He never burns anybody. He's getting it from either somebody in Byron Leftwich camp or Bruce Arians camp who knows exactly what he's getting it from somebody from the source itself. I mean, it's so he didn't put out false information. No way. It totally has the optics of we're trying to squeeze you for something. Why? I'm with you. What the hell are you doing? Your number one pick, Trevor Lawrence, the last 10 games of the year, and 9 of them looked like absolute crap. I mean crap. Other than the last game of the year. He ended off on a good note. But, concerning. You got a guy like Leftwich who played in the NFL, has worked under somewhat of a quarterback whisperer, period. Bruce Arians, Brady, Roethlisberger, Peyton Manning, offensive genius with what he does on that side of the ball. To me, it's like a slam dunk. Oh, and Byron Leftwich also knows what it's like to be here in Jacksonville and be a part of the organization. There's too many things that are good. Mike, here's the thing that jumps to my mind right away. And again, you correct me if I'm wrong. I really think the Matt Rule contract has messed up some of this situation. The Matt Rule contract and the fact that he came from college and hadn't done jack diddly squat in the NFL and got $9 million a year. Now I think that's up the mark to where guys like Byron Leftwich are like, well, I've been around the NFL and I've actually done more in the NFL than Matt Rule. And you got to give me something respectable or close and to me, that's where I wonder. But I'm with you. Why pinch pennies in a crucial situation like this?
Matt Rule is the easiest one to point to when you consider what David Tepper paid him 2 years ago, and everybody was kind of like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Well, and sometimes a deal, what happens is when a new trend arrives, the first deal looks so wacky that the response by everyone else who doesn't want to pay a similar value to coaches as good, if not better, if not much better than the one that got the crazy, oh, that's nuts contract. The reality is that's the way the wind's blowing.
It is.
And if you don't go in that direction, you're going to get burned and you're going to lose that coach that you want to get. So it's not just Matt Rule. It's what's going on in college. It's what's going on with the NFL and all the money that's falling out of the sky from the gambling reality. Everything's changing. The tide is rising for everyone connected to the sport. So the people who are producing, the people who are coaching, the people who are providing the things that become attractive for the sponsors and the gambling companies, they got to get paid too. So it's that simple. It's that simple. It's changed. And the owners, the oligarchs, have managed for 50 years. We said this earlier in the week with Sean Payton.
Yeah.
They have managed to keep the coaching salaries down. They have managed to commit what I would suspect, if anyone ever filed the lawsuit and did the discovery, they would find evidence of an antitrust violation, I believe, where these 32 distinct businesses have come together and loosely, unofficially, wink, nod, have set the price. They've held the market down. Look no farther than the fact that Bill Belichick gets between $20 to $25 million per year as the highest paid coach in the NFL, and Jared Goff gets $33.5 million per year as a 25 to 32 starting quarterback. Who would you rather pay $33.5 million to? Who deserves $33.5 million a year? Belichick or Goff? They've managed to keep the head coaching salaries down. I think that's one of the reasons why Sean Payton walked. Sean Payton knows. As I said yesterday, Tony Romo's making $20 million a year from CBS. Pat McAfee's making $30 million a year from FanDuel. Holy crap. That's where they're willing to recognize and pay, because they understand the NFL, we'll continue to do it our way. And if Shad Khan's fallen into this trap, if he's not willing to pay Byron Leftwich market value and this blows up, he can go sit on the back of his super yacht and twist on the end of his mustache and wonder what the hell happened.
I hear you. I mean, I hear you all the way. And you're right. I think the market is correcting itself. It is ridiculous with some of the salaries with NFL head coaches, 100%. And to that point, too, I don't think any of the NFL head coaches are making what we really think. You know, the ones that at least have some established, some establishment within their organization, all of them are making a little bit more than what we think. All of them. They are. I know it's on paper, it might be this. If they get fired, okay, it might be this number that they guaranteed get, but they're getting more money than what we think. If you think they're making $7 million, they're probably making 10 and getting paid by an outside business or off the book some way to where the NFL doesn't know it. I think that's going on throughout the NFL with coaches that at least have, planted their feet within an organization. That's another aspect as well. But you're right.
Chris, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah.
There are people who are part of the establishment who will aggressively push back against that. That just shows you how desperate they are to maintain this ruse. These are the actual numbers.
That's
hey,
BS.
Byron Leftwich, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Bill Belichick isn't making $25 million a year. Sean Payton wasn't making more than $15 million a year. Pete Carroll's not making more. Here's the official numbers. This is what we're working off. Bull, you know what?
Yeah,
and
they've
managed to pull it off. Here's why. No one's ever going to sue him for it. No one's ever going to trade his career as a coach to go against them when it comes to collusion. Just like no one's ever going to sue him. No one's ever going to sue him over the reason the Rooney Rule's in place. The Rooney Rule's in place because they got a little scared maybe they'd get sued 20 years ago. No one's ever going to sue them for hiring practices when it comes to racial bias. No one's ever going to do it because they're not going to trade in their career for it, because that's what you'd have to do. You're done. You're calling I'm sorry. People are going to get triggered. I don't care. You Colin Kaepernick yourself if you file that lawsuit. You're done.
You
it's
definitely
over.
Do. You do.
Bye-bye.
No doubt.
Go get another job somewhere else. You're not working in the NFL anymore.
No, 100%.
It's wrong. It's wrong, but that's
wrong.
Exactly what would happen.
No, I mean, I had people in the NFLPA telling me I should sue the Bucs when I lost my spleen. You know why I didn't do it? Because I was afraid I was going to piss off other teams that might want to employ me at some point. I mean, period.
Antonio Brown's never getting back in. all this stupid-ass saber rattling over a defamation lawsuit against the Buccaneers, and it's ridiculous. And it's about, I believe, in my opinion, I don't want to get sued.
Yeah.
In my opinion, this is a lawyer who sees an opportunity to latch himself to somebody who is going to get media attention so he can go on TV, he can go here and go there, and he can boost his own profile and practice. The mere talk of this
You're right.
is the final nail in a coffin riddled with nails that Antonio Brown continues to bust his way out of because he's a good player.
Yeah.
This is the nail that's going to keep it from happening
I'm with
again.
You. He can do all the dumb off-the-field stuff, and he wants. He's going to get on a football team. Now he's going to sue an organization in the NFL. Blacklisted. See you later. And come on, collusion in the NFL? I mean, of course it's going on. It's ridiculous. Nobody seems to care. I mean, but I always point back to the uncapped year of, what was that, 2011 or 2012?
10.
2010. Uncapped year. Teams, you can spend whatever you want. And what happened? Dallas and Washington spent whatever they want. And the NFL went, that's against the rules. We didn't agree with that behind that closed-door meeting. How dare you do that and spend all that money and make us all look ridiculous? And what happened the next year? They penalized those teams for doing something they were supposed to do. So if that isn't collusion, then I don't know what the hell is. And, of course, it's going on in the NFL.
Quick reminder, we will be going to Los Angeles in a week and a half. Whether we actually gain access to the NFL-controlled media center or to, SoFi Stadium for the Super Bowl, that may be undecided right now based upon the last 5 minutes, Chris. We may have to have a make good here at some point to get back in the good graces.
I love the NFL.
Listen, this is who we are. This is what we do. We're going to give you the truth. And if it makes some people uncomfortable, well, that's their problem. That's not our problem.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.